Hello all, welcome to the video lecture series for the subject Database Management System. Today I am going to explain you all about what is anomalies in relational model, that is a database, right? Before getting into normalization forms, I would like to give you an introduction about what is anomalies in relational model so that it will be very easy for you people to understand the normalization which is used to reduce redundancy in database. Let me get into the topic. So basically, the anomalies in database management system are caused by poor management of storing everything in the database, right? We have several management. Say, for example, the irregularities we can mention or errors that occur when the data is poorly organized. Usually, when everything is formed in a single table, right? That is storing everything in a single table may lead to the poor management, right? What it does actually lack of normalization, the data redundancy, and improper use of primary and foreign key. That is more what is it like advanced nature. Here we can able to see the key factor here, primary and foreign key. Whenever we are going to use this three primary or nature of understanding this normalization, and before that we need to know how does this anomalies is really affecting this relational model, right? So in order to understand that, we have three different structures, that is anomalies in database or due to updation and due to insertion and due to deletion, right? Let me tell you simple introduction to what is this insertion. I'll start with this entire insertion. It occurs when you are unable to insert new data into a database, and because it requires unrelated piece of data is missing. For example, in an employee table, if you want to enter an employee table, right, that is for example new phone number, right, the phone number is already exist, right, you want to employee. For example, I'm going to take this insertion. So the insertion, what you're going to insert is new phone number of an employee, right? The employee gets a new phone number want to be updated. That is the only insertion method, that is you're going to insert. Or else what is it like promotion of an employee you want to update, but there is no real factor. We are trying to add a new, but you cannot do because no employee is already enrolled, or else the database requires the employee ID, right? In order to do that, there is an anomaly is created for insertion. I hope you understand how exactly it works, right? Let me take you to the deletion part, right? It occurs when the same data is duplicated across multiple rows. Say for example, again this is for insertion. Let me take you to the deletion here, right? So here the deletion occurs when you want to that is means when you want to specifically delete a record, unintentionally result in the loss of other, right? Deleting one record of an employee, right, and which is stored in a particular row, the particular row is permanently lost. Say for example, you want to delete, right, you want to delete a particular row of an employee. What row? Say for example, his new phone number is lost, right? I'm going to delete this new phone number which is recently updated. I'm going to delete this particular thing. The entire row will be lost, right? So that creates an anomaly here. That is the third part. Now number 3, that is updation, right? What we can update here? Now I am going to update employee salary, right? The employee got promoted and the employee salary got updated. So what I need to do, it occurs when the same data is duplicated across multiple rows, and modify it one place causes the database to become inconsistent because of the other copies are not updated. Say for example, this employee salary is updated in a different table and not in the main table, that is a main database, right? So if you want to update anything anywhere in a particular table, that should reflect everywhere. So now you understood how this updation creates an anomaly here, right? And one more time I'm revisiting deletion. Suppose I'm deleting a number, that is a phone number, it is deleted in a subtable, not in a main table. That creates an anomaly. Suppose you want to insert a new phone number or else a promotion details about a particular employee. It is updated in a main table, not in a subtable. Right? Vice versa. If it is updated in a subtable, not in a main table. Right? This particular thing actually creates anomaly. That is what we have three different anomalies here, that is updation, insertion and deletion. In order to avoid this, we are getting into a normalization form which will give you the finest result for an anomalies in relational model. Right? I hope you understand what is anomalies in relational model. So let me teach you how this particular normalization form exactly works with different normalization form in database management system. Before that, you need to know what is anomalies in relational model, and this is how the anomalies are exactly projected. I hope you understand. Thank you for watching.